It's recap time. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode blank of the Shower Podcast, the podcast where I'm in my shower and you do you. I'm your host, Chip, and these, together with the following episodes, I still haven't decided on the exact number, will be a bit of an experiment. So let me explain a bit what I want to do here. I've been playing around with this tool that I found online called Notebook LM by Google that lets you feed it with videos, texts, information from the internet, and it kind of gives you the chance to chat and extract information from these videos. Out of curiosity, since now we produced more than 80 videos, I was like, okay, let me try to feed my videos to this tool and see what comes out of it. Specifically, there is a very, very, very intriguing option of creating a sort of podcast out of the information that you send that analyzes, describes, and summarizes the info that it's present in those videos. And now, something that, it's normal because, everybody has their days and you might have to do your stuff. You might have lost or just were not necessarily interested in a specific episode. And what I want to do here, since that unfortunately I will also be out for a few days and I feel like I need a bit of a moment of inspiration, because again, if you have followed the last episodes, you'll understand why, but I need a bit of a fresh start. So I was like, why not use this opportunity to create this tool, give you the chance for a recap, and continue with my progress towards the 365 episodes. I think it's a fair, let's say, trade-off between me bringing actual content that inspires me and you being able to actually think back on the episodes that we did and make sure to maybe go and listen again to the original one, trying to get the insight you were looking for. I won't go any further with this intro. I just wanted to throw it out there. Hope you like it. We'll start from the start up to episode 82. So maybe up to episode 80. I will keep I'll see how to divide it. But here we are. Enjoy it. Hope you will like it. And see you at the next one.
Okay, so you've been loving Chip's Shower Podcast, haven't you?
I mean, who hasn't?
And being part of our deep dive crew, you get to steer the ship.
That's right.
You guys asked for a revisit to some of those recent Shower Podcast episodes, numbers 21 through 25.
We heard you loud and clear.
So this one's for you.
Buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into those key insights.
Focus on the details. Think twice before upgrading.
Can you relax? Look around you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Chip's been on a roll.
Let's jump right in. Episode 21, Focus on the Details, kicks things off. Chip talks about this moment where he hears new stuff in a song he's heard a million times, all because of noise-canceling headphones. It got me thinking, how much do we miss in our everyday lives simply because we're not really paying attention?
That's such a crucial point. Our brains are constantly filtering information, right? It's like a survival mechanism.
Totally.
Remember when Chip talked about adding that subtle background noise to his podcast? Most people probably wouldn't even notice it, but it's there, creating a certain atmosphere.
Yeah, he said it was almost imperceptible.
Exactly. And that just goes to show how much we can miss, even when someone is intentionally trying to create a specific effect.
It wasn't just about sound either. Chip talked about missing nonverbal cues in conversations, changes in his environment, even switching shower gels without really noticing.
It's like you're on autopilot so much of the time.
Yeah, just going through the motions.
But as Chip illustrated with his photography analogy, there's so much that goes into crafting an experience, even if we don't consciously register it. Think about all those tiny details in a photograph that most viewers won't even pick up on.
He spent hours on post-processing, adjusting all these minute things.
Right. But those details contribute to the overall impact, the feeling the photo evokes. It's the same with so many things in life.
It's like the difference between just looking at something and actually seeing it.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. Chip wasn't saying we need to become obsessed with every little detail or strive for absolute perfection.
No, not at all.
It was more about being present, appreciating the artistry that goes into creating the experiences we enjoy, whether it's a piece of music, a film, a meal, whatever.
Taking the time to actually notice and appreciate those carefully crafted elements.
Because someone put effort into creating those details for a reason.
Right, they wanted to enhance the experience.
And this leads perfectly into episode 22, Think Twice Before Upgrading. Here, Chip dives into this whole idea of constantly wanting the newest, the best, the shiniest.
Oh, the upgrade cycle. We all know it well.
His monitor refresh rate story, I felt that so hard. He's perfectly happy with his monitor until he sees one with a higher refresh rate, and
Yeah.
suddenly his own feels inadequate.
It's that classic grass is always greener syndrome.
Even though his old monitor was still perfectly functional, it's like once you've tasted that upgrade, it's hard to go back.
It's because our expectations shift, right? We adapt to the new baseline. What once felt amazing becomes the new normal.
So we're chasing this fleeting sense of satisfaction.
Exactly. It's the hedonic treadmill. We keep running, but we never really get anywhere.
And Chip pointed out that it gets even worse when you're exposed to an upgrade that's totally out of reach.
Oh yeah, that could be brutal.
It's like test driving a luxury car and then having to go back to your old one. Suddenly, your reliable daily driver feels like a clunker.
It really makes you question whether those brief encounters with better are worth the potential long-term dissatisfaction.
Totally. I mean, think about Chip's example with his mom's cooking. He loves cooking, but his mom's is just on another level. It made him question his own abilities, even though he's a good cook.
It's all about perspective. It's not that his cooking was bad, it's just that the comparison made it feel less impressive.
It's like that saying comparison is the thief of joy.
Absolutely.
So Chip wasn't saying we should never upgrade anything.
Right.
It was more about being mindful. Like, is this upgrade actually going to add value to my life, or am I just chasing a temporary high?
And potentially ending up less satisfied with what I already have.
Yeah.
So it's about being intentional with our choices, understanding the potential consequences, both positive and negative.
And it's funny because the details we learn to appreciate in episode 21, they often become the selling points for those upgrades in episode 22. Once you notice those subtle differences, it can be hard to ignore them.
You're so right. It's like those higher refresh rates or the super sharp resolution on a new monitor. Once you've experienced it, it's hard to unsee it.
So becoming more attuned to details can actually fuel that desire for the next best thing.
It's a bit of a paradox.
Hmm.
But maybe by really engaging with our current experiences, like Chip suggests in episode 21, we can find more satisfaction in what we already have.
And maybe be a little less tempted by those shiny new upgrades.
Potentially, yeah. It's about finding contentment in the present moment rather than always looking for something better.
Now, episode 23, Can You Relax? This one really resonated with me. It's this whole idea that in a world with endless options, it's somehow harder to relax and do absolutely nothing.
Oh, I feel that. It's like we're constantly bombarded with choices, even in our downtime.
I've had those nights where I have the whole evening free and I just end up scrolling through Netflix for an hour, feeling overwhelmed by all the possibilities.
It's the paradox of choice in action. Having too many options can actually lead to decision fatigue and make us less happy with whatever we end up choosing.
And less relaxed.
Exactly.
Chip talked about his struggles with this, especially with gaming and streaming platforms. So much content, so little time.
And it creates this pressure to consume it all, to not miss out.
It does.
Even our leisure time starts to feel like a race against the clock.
And Chip talked about this nostalgia for simpler times when there were fewer choices.
I get that.
Like if you only had a handful of TV channels, you really savored what you had. Now we're constantly flitting between options, always wondering if we're missing something better.
Which connects to his point about watching things at faster speed.
Oh yeah, he even admitted to doing that.
It's like there's this underlying need to be efficient, even when we're trying to relax.
Which is kind of the opposite of relaxing.
Totally. It's like our brains can't just be.
And he even admitted that he struggles to commit to relaxing activities. He ends up defaulting to passive consumption like YouTube, even if he speeds it up.
It's like we've lost the ability to just be present and enjoy the moment without needing to be constantly stimulated.
It makes you think back to that focus on the details idea. Maybe our inability to relax stems from that overactive awareness of all the potential optimizations and details.
You're right. It's like our minds are always searching for something to tweak, to improve, even when we're supposed to be resting.
You can't just let go and be.
And then there's the connection to episode 22, the upgrade mentality. If we're constantly aware of potentially better ways to relax, it makes it harder to appreciate what we're currently doing.
It does.
Whether it's a different game, a more critically acclaimed show, or even a fancier meditation app.
We're always looking for the ultimate relaxation experience. But in doing so, we might be missing out on the simple joys of just chilling out.
It's like we're chasing relaxation rather than actually experiencing it.
Then, episode 24, Look Around You, takes a bit of a turn.
It does.
Chip starts talking about how technology and politics are becoming more and more intertwined.
Yeah, that was a big one.
He specifically mentions the events surrounding the Trump election and the increasing involvement of tech leaders.
He even expressed some apprehension about discussing it, given how sensitive the topic can be.
Right, he didn't want things to get too heated. But his main point was about how these seemingly separate spheres of influence are actually deeply connected.
It was eye-opening for him. He had kind of assumed that technology existed in its own bubble, separate from politics.
Yeah.
But then, boom, the lines got blurred.
And he realized that even if you try to avoid certain topics, they can still have a ripple effect on your life.
Like the tech industry, which Chip is so passionate about, suddenly became a central part of political discourse.
It did.
And he acknowledged that this connection between power, whether it's political or economic, and influence, is nothing new. It's just become more visible in recent years.
So what was his takeaway? It wasn't about becoming a political expert or anything. It was more about maintaining a general awareness of the broader landscape.
It's not about being deeply invested in every issue. It's about having a basic understanding of what's going on.
Because even if you're not actively involved, these forces are still shaping the world around you.
Yeah, you are.
And it's better to be informed than to be caught completely off guard.
Absolutely.
And this ties back to that feeling of overwhelm we talked about in episode 23.
It does, doesn't it?
The constant influx of information, the interconnectedness of everything, it can make it really hard to switch off.
Because there's always something else demanding our attention.
Right.
And in terms of focus on the details, this requires a different kind of attention. It's not about zooming in on the minutia. It's about taking a wider view, seeing the bigger picture.
Understanding how different systems interact, how events connect.
It's about developing a more nuanced understanding of the world around us.
Okay, and last but not least, episode 25. I'm sorry. This one was pretty personal for Chip. He basically admitted to procrastinating on the episode.
It was late, he was tired, but he pushed through. It was a really honest look at something we all struggle with.
And the thing that seemed to get him going was a comment from a listener.
That's the power of accountability.
Right.
Knowing that someone else is expecting something from you can be a huge motivator.
It's like having a deadline, even if it's self-imposed.
Exactly.
And Chip's advice was simple. Eliminate distractions and just focus on the task at hand.
It's such a classic piece of advice, but it's so true.
It's like that saying, eat the frog, do the hardest thing first.
Get it out of the way so you can move on to the things you enjoy more.
And it's interesting how this contrasts with the look around you message from episode 24.
You're right.
When it comes to procrastination, the best approach is often to narrow your focus, to look right ahead at the immediate task.
Block out all the noise and just get it done.
But when it comes to understanding the world around us, we need to broaden our perspective to look around.
It's about knowing when to zoom in and when to zoom out.
When to focus on the details and when to consider the big picture.
It's about adapting our attention to the situation.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, that's what these episodes are all about. It's about how we engage with the world, how we find meaning and satisfaction in a world that's constantly changing.
Yes.
We're bombarded with information, with choices, with distractions. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to get caught up in the upgrade cycle, to lose sight of what truly matters.
And what I appreciate about Chip's podcast is his willingness to be vulnerable, to share his own struggles with these things. It makes him so relatable.
Totally. He's not pretending to have all the answers. He's just figuring it out as he goes, just like the rest of us.
Exactly.
And that makes his insights all the more valuable.
It really does.
So, to everyone listening, which of these themes resonated with you the most?
Where do you find yourself struggling in your own life?
Are you caught in the upgrade cycle? Do you find it hard to relax? Do you feel overwhelmed by the constant influx of information?
Chip's experiences offer a starting point for your own reflection.
Maybe they'll inspire you to make a change, to try a new approach.
Maybe you'll start paying more attention to the details. Or maybe you'll find a new way to relax.
Or maybe you'll just feel a little less alone in your struggles.
That's important too.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Chip's recent episodes.
We hope you found it insightful and thought-provoking.
And we'll be back soon with another deep dive into something equally fascinating.
Until then, keep those shower thoughts flowing.
And don't forget to pay attention to the details.
And relax once in a while.
We'll see you next time.
Bye for now.
See ya.